Listen carefully, because what you're about to discover might transform your entire financial destiny. There's a hidden code, passed down by legendary mentors like Jim Rohn, that leads directly to the mind of a millionaire. Too many people live trapped in the cycle of bills, debts, and stress, believing wealth is reserved for an exclusive few born with advantages they'll never possess. But that belief is a myth, an illusion that keeps them stuck in mediocrity. If you've ever looked at your bank balance and wondered why financial freedom seems so distant, here's your wake-up call. It's not just about how hard you work, or even how much you earn. It's about your mindset. Once you internalize that your thoughts shape your financial reality, you'll realize that building wealth is possible for anyone willing to challenge their old pattern. Right now, you might feel that money is a constant source of anxiety. Maybe you're under pressure from unexpected expenses, or you feel you're not earning enough to live comfortably. You're not alone in wanting a drastic change. The secret is that every major transformation begins inside your head, and it's time to throw open the doors to a new perspective. Jim Rohn once said that if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. That's why we're delving into his powerful philosophies today, to show you how to design a life of abundance. Keep watching, because the moment you adopt these principles, your relationship with wealth will shift more than you ever believed possible. You'll see your potential expand beyond the limits others have tried to set for you. And somewhere near the end, we'll reveal the deeper diamond that holds this entire code together. Stay with me. Because if you grasp that final key, you'll never see money, success, and your own capabilities the same way again. The first thing you need to know is that achieving a millionaire mindset has almost nothing to do with luck or random chance. It's about training your mind to see opportunities where most people see dead ends, to cultivate discipline where others give in to distractions, and to develop an understanding that wealth is not just a stack of paper or numbers on a screen, but a reflection of the value you create and the mindset you nurture. Many people go through life with a scarcity mentality. They see money as a pie with limited slices, and they worry that if someone else gets rich, it somehow reduces their own slice. This kind of fearful thinking keeps them from taking bold steps or learning new skills. Jim Rohn taught that your financial success will seldom exceed your personal development. If you focus on growing your mindset, your habits, and your sense of self-worth, your finances will eventually catch up. It's not magic. It's a direct outcome of who you become. When you upgrade your internal operating system, the actions you take become sharper, more confident, and more likely to produce wealth. So if you've been frustrated by constantly falling short on your financial targets, check whether you've also been stalling on growing your perspective. Are you reading books that expand your financial knowledge? Or do you scroll mindlessly through social media each night? Are you actively searching for side hustles or additional ways to generate income? Or are you stuck complaining about your main job not paying enough? Shifting away from that complaint mindset and cultivating a spirit of discovery is the first spark. Because once you start exploring, you'll notice opportunities that were invisible before. You'll also realize that millionaires aren't special unicorns. They've simply unlocked a consistent set of beliefs and habits that steadily build wealth over time. If you pay attention to those habits, you can replicate them. One of the biggest obstacles you'll face on this journey is overcoming your own limiting beliefs. There's a voice in your head that might be telling you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not lucky enough to achieve significant wealth. Maybe your family struggled with money, and you grew up thinking that was normal. Maybe you failed at a business venture once and decided you were never going to succeed in any entrepreneurial pursuit. The millionaire mindset calls these thoughts out for what they really are: illusions. Everyone, including the most successful entrepreneurs, has faced failure and self-doubt at various points. The difference is that they didn't let those moments define them. They took the feedback, adjusted their course, and pushed forward. By confronting your limiting beliefs head-on, you'll start to notice a shift in how you talk to yourself. Instead of resigning yourself to financial stress, you'll begin asking, how can I solve this challenge? Who can I learn from? When Jim Rohn spoke about changing your thinking to change your life, he was talking precisely about challenging the mental scripts that keep you small. Maybe you believe you can't invest because you don't have enough money. Perhaps you think you can't network because you're not charismatic. Watch what happens when you decide those are excuses rather than truths. You might start saving small amounts regularly, or find a mentor who helps you take that first step. You might join local or online communities where you can practice social skills and gain new connections. This process takes patience and dedication, but the payoff is massive. Each time you successfully override a limiting belief, you level up your capacity for success. The next piece of the Jim Rohn Wealth Code is about adopting consistent, value-based actions. Millionaires don't just talk about big ideas, they implement them. Many people get stuck in perpetual planning, reading countless business or finance books but never following through on a single strategy. If there's one thing you should remember from Rohn's teachings, it's that knowledge without action is wasted potential. This means you have to put yourself out there, even if you're not fully confident. Maybe you don't feel fully ready to pitch a new idea at work, launch a side hustle, or approach a potential mentor for advice. But that's exactly why you need to do it. Action clarifies what works and what doesn't. If you wait until everything is perfect, you'll wait forever. Successful people move forward, learn from their mistakes, and then refine their approach. So, if you have an idea for a small business, instead of fantasizing about it, do a test run, sell a few products online, or offer your service to a handful of clients. Gain feedback. You'll be amazed how quickly real-world data exposes gaps in your plan and also shows you unexpected opportunities. When you adopt the habit of consistent action, you build momentum. That momentum is what separates those who daydream about wealth from those who actually attain it. Once momentum kicks in, you'll crave the next step, the next level, and you'll build a track record that others can't help but notice. Just as vital as action is discipline. This is where many people stumble. You see, discipline means doing what you need to do, even on days you don't feel like doing it. It means sticking to that savings plan, continuing to invest time in personal development, and avoiding the temptation to waste money on status symbols that don't appreciate in value. Jim Rohn famously said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Without that bridge, your goals remain on one side, and your actual results stay on the other." Creating wealth is not about a single heroic effort. It's about small, repeated disciplines that compound over time. This could be the discipline of reading financial statements every morning to track your business progress, or setting aside a portion of each paycheck for future investments. No excuses, no cheat days. It might mean skipping a few nights out to allocate more funds toward your entrepreneurial venture. It can also mean diligently learning new skills so you become more valuable in the marketplace. At first, discipline can feel uncomfortable, but stick with it and it transforms into habit. And once something becomes a habit, your emotional resistance to it diminishes dramatically. Think of it like going to the gym. The first few workouts might be painful, but if you push through, eventually it feels unnatural not to go. The same is true for wealth-building habits. With enough repetition, it feels strange not to save, not to learn, and not to hustle. That's a clear sign you're anchoring your millionaire mindset firmly into your daily life. To adopt a millionaire mindset, you must also surround yourself with the right influences. Take a look at your social circle, both online and offline. Are they people who constantly complain about how everything is rigged against them? Do they gossip more than they talk about opportunities and ideas? Jim Rohn had a famous maxim: you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you're hanging around individuals who view wealth with disdain or treat money like a taboo subject, guess what beliefs will unconsciously rub off on you? Conversely, if you seek out friends or mentors who discuss investments, market trends, personal development strategies, or ways to grow your skill set, your perspective naturally expands. This doesn't mean you have to abandon your old friends, but it does mean you should consciously add voices of growth and possibility to your life. That might involve joining mastermind groups, participating in business forums, or just reading the biographies of successful entrepreneurs. The more you immerse yourself in that environment, the more normal high-level achievement becomes. Soon, you'll start seeing wealth building as a standard part of life, rather than a distant dream. And this mental normalization is essential because once you believe you belong in those circles, you'll take bolder actions that align with success. You'll catch yourself thinking, I can do this because I've seen people just like me succeed, rather than, this is impossible for someone with my background. That shift, while subtle, can be the turning point in your financial evolution. Another key lesson from Jim Rohn is to never let your level of income be the only measure of your wealth. Real prosperity extends beyond the money in your bank account. It includes the quality of your relationships, your health, and the fulfillment you get from your work. That said, improving your financial standing often comes more naturally when you align your work with genuine passion or at least a strong sense of purpose. When you put your heart into a venture you believe in, you operate with an energy that's hard to replicate just by chasing numbers. This doesn't mean you should ditch your job and chase unrealistic dreams, but it does mean that if you feel trapped in a role you hate, You might want to explore how you can pivot, whether it's switching companies, developing a new skill to qualify for a better position, or launching your own project on the side. Jim Rohn taught that work is an extension of you. It's a reflection of your identity. If your work feels meaningless, your motivation to excel and create wealth will be limited. The millionaire mindset recognizes that genuine enthusiasm for your craft is like rocket fuel, propelling you past obstacles that would otherwise stop you. Imagine tackling financial goals when you wake up every day dreading the tasks ahead. It's miserable and rarely sustainable. But if you wake up excited about what you do, discipline becomes less of a chore. Each challenge is something you're willing to overcome because it's integral to your passion. Wealth flows more naturally when it's tied to a deeper drive within you. At this point, you might be wondering, all of this sounds good, but what about the practical side of money, like investing, budgeting, or dealing with debt? Here's the thing. The specifics of investing, saving, or handling liabilities are absolutely important, but they become much easier once you're already operating under the right mindset. Without a strong mental foundation, you might pick up on some investing strategies, but you'll drop them at the first sign of market volatility because you'll lack the emotional resilience. Or you'll start budgeting, but old spending habits rooted in low self-esteem or instant gratification will derail your progress. That's why developing the inner architecture of a millionaire mind must precede any external strategy. Once your mind is aligned, you'll naturally seek out practical solutions and execute them with consistency. You'll do the research, consult experts, and take calculated risks without being paralyzed by fear. You won't sabotage yourself by overspending or jumping on every get-rich-quick scheme. Instead, you'll be deliberate, patient, and steadily build a fortress of financial security that grows year after year. You can think of the mindset as the engine and practical strategies as the vehicle. The best vehicle in the world won't move if the engine isn't running properly. Conversely, a strong engine can power through almost any roadblock once it's attached to the right methods. If you're feeling overwhelmed at how much there is to learn, remember that mastery doesn't happen overnight. Part of the millionaire mindset is embracing continuous education. Jim Rohn once stated that formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. That means you shouldn't stop educating yourself once you leave school. Wealthy individuals never cease to learn. They read, attend seminars, take online courses, and stay curious. They treat their minds as an ever-expanding library of knowledge, always seeking new ways to stay ahead in a changing world. Whether it's learning the fundamentals of cryptocurrency, understanding real estate markets, or diving into personal branding, they adapt quickly. This capacity to pivot ensures they remain relevant and profitable in any economic climate. So rather than feeling daunted, take it as an opportunity. Each new piece of knowledge you acquire is an investment in your financial future. Over time, that knowledge compounds just like money does. With each book you read or mentor you consult, you sharpen your intuition, reduce your risk of making naive mistakes, and improve your ability to spot lucrative openings. It's a process that rewards the patient and punishes the complacent. One of the subtle but profound shifts you'll notice as you adopt a millionaire mindset is your relationship with time. When you truly value your long-term goals, you stop squandering hours on pointless activities. This doesn't mean you can't have fun or relax, but it does mean you become more intentional about it. You realize that every minute you spend mindlessly browsing the internet or engaging in negative conversations is a minute you could invest in personal growth, revenue-generating activities, or genuine self-care. Jim Rohn emphasized that time is more valuable than money, because you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Millionaires respect time as their most precious resource. They delegate tasks that don't require their unique skill set. They automate processes whenever possible, and they consistently focus their energy on high-impact actions like networking with key individuals, strategizing growth, or refining systems that create passive income. This kind of time optimization might feel alien at first, especially if you're used to living with no schedule or pushing deadlines to the last minute. But once you experience the results, more free hours to dedicate to meaningful activities, better productivity, and a calmer mind, you'll never go back to your old random approach. And now we arrive at a critical concept many misunderstand: the role of gratitude and humility in wealth building. It might sound counterintuitive to talk about gratitude when the goal is accumulating money. But here's the connection. Gratitude shifts your mindset from what you lack to what you have, and that fosters a sense of possibility and confidence. When you focus on what you already possess, be it knowledge, relationships, or small blessings, you're more inclined to use those assets effectively rather than dwelling on scarcity. Humility, on the other hand, keeps you open to learning and collaboration. Arrogance might win you a few deals or let you brag about your accomplishments, but it closes you off from advice that could skyrocket your success. Jim Rohn's Wealth Code emphasizes that staying teachable is essential to continuous growth. When you combine gratitude with humility, you become someone who can celebrate each financial milestone without growing complacent. You stay hungry for improvement, but you're also thankful for how far you've come. This equilibrium helps you maintain a balanced perspective, one that's less prone to destructive ego battles and more focused on creating real, lasting value for yourself and others. You might be wondering how generosity fits into a millionaire mindset. Isn't giving money away counterproductive to building wealth? Actually, it's quite the opposite. Generosity done wisely is one of the best ways to reinforce an abundance mentality. When you give, you demonstrate to yourself that you're not living in a fear of loss or with the belief that you'll run out. You're telling your subconscious mind that you have enough to share, and that reinforces confidence in your own ability to generate more. This doesn't mean you blindly donate all your savings or invest in every friend's questionable venture. It means being strategic about your generosity, whether it's providing mentorship, sharing resources, or donating to causes that align with your values. Jim Rohn highlighted that the measure of a life is not in its duration, but in its donation. Giving expands your sense of purpose, tying your financial gains to a cause larger than yourself. This emotional fuel often spurs you to greater heights. You realize money is a tool, not a prison. When used well, it can create ripple effects of good across the world. And in a paradoxical twist, the more you give responsibly, the more you might find that doors open to you networking opportunities, collaborations, and goodwill that can come back in unexpected ways. By now, you may see that adopting the millionaire mindset is less about chasing some complicated formula and more about transforming the way you think, act, and react. It involves standing guard at the door of your mind, protecting it from beliefs, habits, and influences that sabotage your progress. It's about seeing past immediate impulses to the long-term gains that come from discipline, continuous learning, strategic generosity, and unwavering commitment. This shift will test your resolve. People around you might mock your new habits, or you might feel moments of doubt when results don't appear overnight. The key is to realize that real wealth building is a process, a marathon, rather than a sprint. You don't see the finish line the day you start running, but every step, every disciplined choice, every smart risk, and every effort to expand your knowledge brings you closer to that line. And one day, you'll wake up and find that you're already living a life of abundance, not just financially, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's the kind of holistic success Jim Rohn believed in, where your wealth is accompanied by fulfillment and a deeper sense of meaning. The diamond that glitters in all of this, the final key that holds everything together, is the realization that you are the root cause of your own wealth journey. It's not the economy, not your boss, not your upbringing, and not your current bank balance that determines your financial destiny. It's you, your mindset, your willingness to act, your discipline, your environment, and your quest for constant evolution. When you grasp this truth deeply, you stop waiting for external forces to make things easier or to grant you permission. You become the cause, not the effect. And when you live as the cause, you wield an incredible creative power. The Jim Rohn Wealth Code, in essence, is the understanding that who you become on the inside shapes everything you'll ever achieve on the outside. If you internalize this concept, there's no limit to how far you can go. Whether you want to pay off debts, retire early, travel the world, or simply live without money worries, the path is wide open once you own the cause and effect relationship in your life. This is more than just a motivational phrase, it's a blueprint for self-determination. The real question is whether you'll seize it. Will you let these lessons become a forgotten note, or will you act on them, refine them, and use them to propel yourself to new heights? The choice, as always, is yours. But once you see what's possible, you may never want to settle again. That's the power of a millionaire mindset. It's a call to break free from mental chains, to step out of the scarcity trap, and to realize the greatest asset you have is the ability to grow, adapt, and rise above your limitations. Jim Rohn's legacy is a testament to the transformation that awaits anyone willing to put in the necessary inner work. If you start small, remain consistent, and keep raising your standards, you'll accumulate more than money. You'll accumulate wisdom, resilience, and a life that resonates with true success. No one said it would be easy, but as Rohn himself would remind us, it's definitely worth it. The moment you claim full responsibility for your path is the moment you become unstoppable. Step forward, grab the lessons, and make your move. Because your new life won't begin until you do.